Welcome to our presentation of Array Networks, how to mitigate COVID-19 with remote access. Let's jump right in. Let me introduce myself. My name is Louis De Silva. I am the systems engineer for Array Networks. I'm a dual citizen, Canadian American. I was born in Kitchener, Ontario, Canada. Migrated with my parents when I was 11 years old to the States. Lived in California, San Francisco Bay Area for most of my life, and then moved to Texas. I'm currently outside of San Antonio, Texas, living here, supporting customers all over North America. All right, so today, what we're going to be talking about, we're going to go over a little bit about Array Networks, who we are as a company. We're going to go into our solution and what other vendors offer as a solution, and what they offer for remote access and how it compares to us. We're going to talk about the different personas of users that are using our solution and that other solutions may not be able to accommodate. We're going to talk about why we feel our solution is best of breed for SSL features and functionality, and also security. I mean, it's a secure device. The SSL stack has to be secure also. And then we're going to talk about what I like is the ABC. You always got to have an ABC plan. And that's the Array Business Continuity solution. And we'll get into that a little bit later. And also, we'll be touching on our free offer for 25 user license forever. All right, let's get right into it. So let's start off with what my sales rep likes to call our NASCAR slide, where all the stickers are for all the different customers we had and all that. So here's our NASCAR slide. Some of the names you might recognize, some of them you might not. So we are headquartered in Milpitas, California, which is Silicon Valley, just outside of San Jose, in between San Francisco and San Jose, California. We've got well over 50 patents currently. We've got over 5,000 customers worldwide. And some of the products that we have. We've got a network functions platform. What that is basically you host your virtual appliances on there. Normally, you've got your shared server hosts like KVM or ESXi, but they're a shared resource. That could be a problem when you're trying to host a firewall or trying to host a router or a WAF there, because you're dependent on the device to inspect your traffic. And a noisy neighbor may take all that away from you and degrade its performance. With our network functions platform, we're able to pin the CPU, create a NUMA boundary around your memory, implement an easy button for SRIOV for direct access to your interfaces. We utilize DPDK for zero copies infrastructure, giving you great performance through the box for your virtual image. In fact, we can improve virtual images performance according to their data sheet just by hosting them on that platform. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about our secure access gateway, and that is our SSL VPN solution. Let's jump right into it. All right, so 2020 has been one of those unique years. Things have changed, turned the world upside down. I mean, I've never seen this before in my life, where everything has been turned upside down. The world basically shut down this year. Everybody was asked to stay at home, stay home, stay home. But business has to continue. So everybody's scurrying up, trying to figure out how to build their workforce to work from home. And a lot of people ran into problems and discovered there are shortcomings in their solution that they currently had and had to scurry. The good thing is our customers that were deployed with our solution, they came to us and said, hey, I'm going through what we call our ABC plan, our Array Business Continuity bursting plan. They started bursting because of their remote workforce. They called us and said, hey, we're bursting into our plan, but we'd like to increase our license capability. Since our device is designed for performance, we were able to increase these customers here, as you see the numbers, all the way to Humana, from 8,000 to 28,000 users, able to burst them with concurrent users without affecting their performance or their workforce. Even though the workforce moved remote, we were able to provide access for all of them easily and quickly without any downtime in their business model. Really nice stuff. All right. So, as you can see, most firewalls that have a bolt-on solution for a VPN access, it's a nice to have, it's a check off for them. But the problem is, does it really perform? A lot of people have complained about their performance coming through. What happens is they try to make their access there, and when they ran into the COVID problem, they had to burst and put everybody through that VPN. Now, instead of just having 5 to 10 users coming through the VPN at once, they had over 100. All of a sudden, everybody's getting degraded performance through that particular appliance because it wasn't really built to be a VPN solution. It was a nice to have checkoff list. But now they're depending on that particular feature, and that feature just can't handle it. Some people are trying to buy and double up on that. Doesn't really work well. They're just not made for that type of solution. With Array, we are the best of breed solution out there, we feel. We provide the SSL VPN. We provide great performance, richness, and flexibility, especially for situations like we're running into this year. We can definitely burst and accommodate all your remote workforce easily and quickly. And we'll get into that a little bit. So you've got different personas out there, different users. Most of us, we already know the power user, the remote worker, the Salesforce that have their own laptop, the executives, your admins that work from home. Quick and simple layer 3 VPN connection, boom, they act as if they're there, no big deal. You may also have a solution for your partners and consultants. What you didn't expect or anticipate is having your entire office workforce having to work from home. They had a desktop machine that they can't really take off and take home. So they're using their home workstation to try to get remote access. That requires intelligence on installing software, help from the IT department, and then it may not work because you just don't have the bandwidth through that device to be able to support that many remote users. So with the Array Network solution, we can accommodate that. We can make it simple and easy for remote user workforce without causing impact in your performance there for your employees by giving them remote access into their workstation itself with a simple RDP application. And we'll get into that a little bit more. All right, so our secure access from any user, anywhere, anytime. It don't matter if it's a managed or unmanaged device, if it's a company-owned device, or if it's a personal device. It could be a Mac, a PC, Linux, it could be iOS or Android, tablet, don't matter. Our software can accommodate them all. Simple install, simple access. We can access through a portal on HTTPS. They got instant access as long as they have the right credentials in there to access the device. We can also access from within the company, creating a true zero trust model. And we'll get into that a little bit later about how we do that. But basically, we put all your critical devices that have your important data on behind our device so that every user, whether they're on campus, off campus, contractor, or remote access, would have to come through the AG device itself to gain access to that resource. Okay, so cool stuff. Let's jump right in on that. So what we offer, we can offer full layer 3 VPN access for your power users, what they're accustomed to getting, like your admins, for example. They need to be able to ping, SSH, Telnet, web browse to any internal resource whatsoever. That's their job. They have to administrate the network and make sure everything's functioning well for your workforce. So you would give them full layer 3 access. Now, maybe you have your office worker, and what they need is just layer 4 access from their workstation at home. But you don't want to give them a full-blown IP address on their workstation because you don't know the state of their machine. Does it have malware installed? Does it have a virus installed? Am I going to expose my servers to any of that stuff? we can actually lock that down and give them RDP access to just their workstation alone without giving an IP presence in your network. We will proxy all that through our access gateway, give them a loopback address so they can't infect anything inside. There's no way it can cross over our proxy. All they would have is remote desktop access to their workstation. Now it's as if they're sitting there in their desk in front of their workstation doing what they need to do on a day-to-day business. Really cool stuff. And maybe you have some partners or consultants where all they need is access to certain web pages. Not a problem. Don't even need to install a client there. You just bring up the portal page through HTTPS, and then you click on the links that you're allowing them to provide to gain access to. You can also open that up a little bit more by adding bookmark pages there, or allowing them to add bookmarks and browse whatever resources they know by a host name on the back end. But that's up to you. You can get as granular on the access rights for each individual user, and also according to the hardware they're on. You can look at what type of hardware they're doing, do a hardware ID check as a company-owned asset. We can look for antivirus software in addition to that. We can look and see if they belong to a domain or not. Various numbers of different security checks we can do on just a physical device itself before we even ask the user to put in their credentials to log in. And we also support multi-factor authentication. Really great performance. We can scale. It's amazing how high we can scale. I claim we can scale up over 150,000 users. On this slide, they say 25 to 100,000. I know that we've got 130,000 out there at one customer, and it still performs great. Really fast and robust solution there. Let's jump into our product a little bit and give you some highlights of our Access Gateway solution. So here's some user portal and login pages, fully customizable according to what you want. In a background, that's our Motion Pro client. And in there, if you got desktops or applications that you want to give them access to, maybe you just want them to have access to their HR application for HR. We can put an icon there and just give them access to that app only. No IP presence. All they do is double click on that once they're connected. They get access to that app. Done. Easy for a remote workforce. If you want to give them RDP access to their desktop at work, easy. Simple double click on the icon. And that would be whether they get layer 3 access also or not, layer 4 access only by giving them access to those. We can support the application on your phone, like I mentioned, on your tablets, all that fun stuff. Really nice stuff. We do support multi-factor authentication, as I mentioned. Here are all the different ways we do our security checks for hardware, as I mentioned, third-party integration, the AAA that we support, LDAP, local database, OAuth, SAML, Azure AD. It's up to you how you want to do that. And you can also turn on multi-factor authentication. We got a couple examples here. One is with using Duo. So they type in their credentials and then they get prompted for Duo. Do you want to do a push? Do you want to call me? Enter a passcode, whatever the option is. We also have our own app. We call it One-Time Password. It's very similar to RSA Secure ID, where it randomizes 6 digits for you. Default is every 30 seconds. You can totally customize what you want there. It's up to you. You can make it shorter, you can make it longer. And then you would enter those credentials in addition to your username and password based off what they get on their phone. All right. So the cool thing about our platform is it's not only a remote access solution for your remote workforce, but you can also make it into a zero trust model for any access from anywhere, even within your campus. It's up to you. You just put your devices behind our access gateway, and whether they're trying to get to the resource locally or remotely, they'd have to come through here and provide their credentials. We can make it transparent for them. or we can make them come through a login process and login page. Cool thing is we can support single sign-on, so they only need to enter that in once. And once they have that, they're good to go. Life is great. Total, complete, secure access with a zero trust model. All right, so as I mentioned before, our SSL stack is very secure, very robust. The big reason is it's built in-house. We designed our own SSL stack. We didn't take an off-the-shelf open SSL with its vulnerabilities. So as you know, everybody's doing a security patch for this vulnerability or that vulnerability. It's because they're using open source SSL. They're going to be susceptible to that. With ours, it's all built in-house. We're not susceptible to stuff like Heartbleed, Shell Shock, Ghost, and so on. We don't get affected by that because we don't use that open source code. We built it ourselves. Really nice stuff. So here's a picture of one of the portals that we have. Once again, this is fully customizable. You can change the logo, you can change the color, you can change the layout how you want. You can change the welcome message. All fully customizable by you. In fact, if you want to have your own web developer design your own website, you can do that and import the web package. We give you the framework for doing that. It's all up to you how you want to do it. We also make it easy to where you have your portal theme up. You can double click on an HTML and you can change the color real quick and simple just by yourself. You don't need a web developer to do that. Real simple and easy to make your adjustments according to what you want to look and feel. On this particular one, we've allowed the user to be able to browse to any intranet URL as long as they know the host name. We've allowed the user to add their own bookmarks. As they browse somewhere, they can make it a bookmark and it'll add it to the bookmark links. And we can also take that right away and only give them the web links where they have only access to those that we publish. If they're a power user that needs to RDP or have access to a certain application, we can give them a VPN connection. They connect to their VPN, the Motion Pro client pops up, puts the icons on there of what they're allowed to access. Or they can get full layer 3 access with that. It's up to you. And once they're connected to the VPN, they can now show their desktop, which would bring up that window with all the different apps that they're allowed to go browse to or connect to. Cool thing is, the unit comes with 5 free portals. The free portals is pretty cool because you can create a portal for your employees. So they're authenticated by, let's say, your Active Directory or Azure AD. And then you got your partners or contractors. You may not want them to be authenticated off the same method, so you can give them a different portal to log in. You can also change the look and feel of that portal, and you can authenticate them via a different method, whether it's local DB, OAuth, whatever you want to do there. Google, it's up to you how you want them to authenticate there. And you can have different rights for each portal and different look and feel. The example I like using is Coca-Cola and Pepsi. Say they're vendors of yours and they need to access your few different apps in your site. Well, you can give each one of them their own unique portal page. One, you can make it blue and put the Pepsi-Cola logo up there, make them feel at home, make them feel happy. And the other one, you can make it a red environment, all kinds of red borders and red icons, and put the Coca-Cola logo up there. Awesome, they're feeling the love. They have their own custom portal, and it's all coming through the same access gateway. But the unique thing is each one can be configured individually with different access rights and different privileges according to their rules that you set up for them. We can have up to 256 of these customized portals on a single unit, whether it's a virtual unit or a physical unit. But like I said, it comes with 5 for free. And then for the rest, if you need more, you just get the license for them. Okay. So going over our different products, as I mentioned, we have our virtual implementation. Runs pretty much in any virtual image. Most common ESXi, KVM. We've got them all. We support them all. Just download the image that you want for your virtual instance. We also have physical appliances going down from our AG1000, supports 1000 concurrent users, all the way up to our AG1600, where we can have up to, here it says 130,000. I know it can support more than that, but they're being conservative. 7 gigs of throughput. Really nice and robust system and solution for you. Unmatched performance. And another cool thing is you can cluster these guys together so you can really scale your availability and capabilities with these guys. All right. One thing that we don't show on here is the ability to do what I call site-to-site connections. So let's say you've got an instance in Azure of different services and different apps. And then you got AWS, and then you got your campus. You can link each one of those with the site-to-site connection into your campus environment with this device. And then your employees, no matter where they're at, they can gain access to all the different resources, no matter where it's hosted or at, just by the host name or IP, without having to think about it any further. It's there, it's connected. We've got it all transparent with the site-to-site VPN to all these. We can do a hub and spoke into your main campus to all the different remote sites, and even including in the cloud. Really nice. All right, like I said, ABC, Array Business Continuity. You always got to have an ABC plan in case bad days happen. Well, in this case, it's a bad year. You got to be able to burst for the whole year. But let's take example of Hurricane Sandy that struck New York. When it struck, oh my goodness, everybody was stuck at home, had to work from home. They had burst days because the customer had bought our ABC package. They were able to get 10 days of bursting so that the remote workforce, when they were stuck to work from home for those days, we just ding off a remote workforce day from their ABC license and degraded it according to what they had. And then we'd send an email to the admin, let them know, hey, you triggered your ABC license, you're degraded by 1 day. That way it gives them proactive ability to be able to increase, add additional ones, or increase their license higher, just like Humana did, for example. So it's better to be proactive than reactive and have a workforce that's not being able to do their work from home because they're limited according to the number of connections coming through. We can accommodate that quickly and easily. And as I mentioned, we are offering a free 25 user SSL VPN full featured license. Just come to our booth, fill out the form. We'll set up a quick meeting to go over how to get your access to it, how to install it. And then you just send us the serial number after it's installed on your virtual machine. Don't matter, it's up to you. You just let us know which one it is. We'll point you to the right image. And then we'll give you the permanent license according to that serial number. Forever, perpetual. It's up to you. If you want to increase that from 25 users, you easily can increase that. Have more concurrent users. You can also add a support contract for it if you'd like. But you do get the free 25 full-featured SSL VPN license so that you can have a solution for your workforce up to 25 concurrent users. All right. And as I mentioned, some of the case studies, we've seen Humana go from 8,000 users up to 28,000 users, Meditech 600 all the way up to 3,000, and then 200 for MSCI all the way up to 1,200. Amazing how they can scale quickly and simply. And because they did have the ABC capability there, they bursted and they can be proactive about their solution, and they got their license installed quickly, their upgraded license, without any effect on their workforce. No loss of dollars there, no loss on access or productivity. Really nice solution there. All right, that's it for me. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, please feel free to post them, and I'll be happy to answer. Thank you and have a good day.